Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pot of Gold podcast. This is episode 72. Jordanna Shean is an entrepreneur, connector, and systems builder who has spent years exploring real estate, community building, and entrepreneurship. She discovered along the way that her real superpower is helping people feel seen, heard, and guided toward their next clear step. Today, she's building practical people-first systems alongside her business partner, Marcy, to help business owners stop losing opportunities and start growing. Jordanna, welcome onto the show.
Thanks. I'm so honored to be here. I appreciate you asking me.
Yeah, I really like having these conversations with people because you never know if someone else is going to have an insight that's going to help you with the own problem you're currently stuck on.
Very true. I like that. It's a good analogy.
That being said, the thing that I like to start with most of the time is just ask a little bit about your background, how you got started, and what it is that you do today, and how it led to where you are now.
Well, it's definitely been an interesting journey, that's for sure. I thought I wanted to do real estate. Well, I do still want to do real estate, but that was my big, that's what I'm going to go to, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And I actually started that journey back in 2013, so it's been very long. It's definitely been interesting. Tried multiple different communities and just kind of never got anywhere. Didn't really feel like I belonged to anything. There was always more questions, pieces missing, and kind of just like, even though you joined a community, you still kind of felt like you were alone and you didn't necessarily get the help that you needed, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes the scope of these big communities that are famous or popular limit the ability to get real guided direction.
Yes.
So
100%.
a lot of it's good stuff still, right? But it's hard to incorporate it into your own situation, especially when you've never built something before.
Exactly, especially
At least
if
that's been
you're
my experience.
new. Yeah, new to the industry, you're just like, where do I go? What do I do? Where do I start? So every time I was in a new community or a different community, I still felt that way.
Mm.
I joined SubTo back in the summer of 2024, and that community actually felt different. Like I did way more than I ever did in my entire real estate existence, so that was cool. It was interesting because Pace actually introduces you to different avatars, which is very cool, and never even heard about that before I get to his community. So alone, that was very different and interesting. Like I said, I just was able to do more stuff in that community because it was different. There's actually people reaching out to you, wanting to help you, wanting to build with you. And with those different avatars, you can get on teams. So I joined a few teams, tried a few different things, and I was able to move a couple different properties different ways. But then at least trying different teams and trying different things, I realized like those avatars weren't for me and I didn't want to do that. And then actually I completely changed my direction entirely. September last year, I went to an event in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where I met you and Jesse and the rest of the gang. And that literally just changed my whole existence for thinking.
Okay. Like a mindset shift.
Yeah, 100%. And it opened my eyes to different things. And then it gave me the courage to be okay with pivoting.
Got it.
So I have completely pivoted away from real estate. And I'm not done with it, but I'm just pausing it for now. And that's where I also met Marcy, my business partner. So a lot of great things came out of that event, which was super awesome. I also learned a lot about myself and I continue to grow, which I just love because I'm exploring and finding new things about myself. And then that's where I realized that I enjoy not necessarily building systems, but organization behind the system and having the right systems in place.
Mm-hmm.
And just being more organized. Like I love organization. It just puts everything into perspective for me. So that's kind of one of my hidden, I guess, gems or special avatars or whatever you would call it. So I have helped people do that. And then that's kind of where Marcy and I decided to come into Stop Losing Leads. We were doing HomePad Haven and we kind of did Trust Stack and we were still in the real estate space with being lenders. And then HomePad Haven had developed and we just kind of been pivoting. And I think we finally found our niche. which is building Stop Losing Leads, where we come in and help small businesses with better systems, better organization, and just having the correct things in place so everything can move smoothly and more
Mm-hmm.
organized. And you don't have to be the jack of all trades wearing all the hats.
Got it. Yeah, that's a lot of entrepreneurship's experience when they first get started, is
Yes.
wearing every single hat in the business.
Yes.
So when you say stop losing leads, do you refer to things like speed to lead or maybe just not returning calls? What exactly are you referring to?
Great question. So after kind of going through everything and just talking over it with Marcy, we realized that a lot of people, they have their marketing stuff and they're doing the thing, but we realized that their follow-up is messy, or they don't have a
Mm,
follow-up in place, or they're not answering the phone. And especially if they don't answer the phone, then your competitor or that client is on to your next competitor. They're just going to keep calling and keep calling. So we decided to build a system around that where we can help you capture those leads within 5 seconds or right away. Getting your phone answered, or not have, like, even if you don't answer it, there's something getting answered. The client is getting spoken to, captured, whether that's a text, email, like something is reaching out so they don't go to your competitor.
got it. So they get like instant response, so
Yes,
to speak.
exactly.
Got it. Okay.
100%. Yep. And then just having better follow-ups in place and better systems with SOPs in place. So everybody that comes into your business, your new hires, they know exactly what they're doing. There's no guessing. There's
Mm-hmm.
no, what is my job title? Because I personally know from experience working on W-2, that was always the biggest missing part, was a proper system and a foundation. Like, even when I was in a couple other W-2s, like, that's what we were building out, SOPs and foundations. And they were
Mm-hmm.
like a 5-year-old company. So it's just interesting.
A lot of room for improvement in a lot of places. I think that's also very interesting. What exactly led you to this being your niche? What were the kind of the insights or decisions that drove you that direction along the way?
I guess, I don't know, it always comes back to organization. I can't stand messy. I can't stand chaos. So I notice in my personal life in general, just with systems, whether that's having something put over here or having certain things put in place or in certain areas, it just makes life so much easier. It makes
Mm,
things less messy. You know where stuff is. You can find things right away. And that's kind of where just being in the AI network, learning those skills and learning more about yourself and your skills. So that's kind of where those things came out, and I was able to find more things about me and what I liked doing and the systems and the organization. And then just a lot of the talk with AI and learning those tools and keeping up with that. So with all that kind of being said, that's when we like mushed it all together and be like, well, how can we bring this to the market and add value to entrepreneurs, small businesses? Because we do hear that a lot, like, oh, I'm so frustrated, I'm all over the place, I don't know where this is, I didn't have enough time to call that person back, oh, I forgot. So if we could put that into a system and come in and take care of that all for you,
yeah.
what would that look like for you? How would that change for you?
One of the things that I hear from people also is that they're like, I'm not good with computers. That's something I hear a lot, right? And so those are the kinds of people that need that kind of help.
100%. Yep.
So you mentioned that you got started back in 2013 and you kind of bounced from place to place, different communities and mentorships. Were there any major problems or roadblocks that you think you needed to solve along the way before things would start to click? I mean, I imagine you still gained insights as you were going through different programs, right?
Percent. And I think it's a good experience to at least try to see if it's something you like or don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Because then we're like, you know what? I really didn't like that. And it's funny too, because I know in our community we talk about shiny object syndrome a lot.
Yeah.
So that could be totally misunderstood when you're doing that, because at some point I'm like, oh my God, I feel like that's what I'm doing. But at the same time, how do you know if you don't know?
Yeah.
So you got to take that leap and try it. So that's what I did. I tried disposition on a team, and I realized that disposition wasn't for me. And, that's was also new to the game for hiring somebody to their company. So they didn't have the correct systems in place. So they were
Mhm.
learning as they went as well. So, with that being said, I'm wondering if they had built out the systems to bring on a new hire, it could have been maybe a different or better experience.
Maybe reduce the friction for the new person.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a great learning experience as well. But it just, regardless if they had things in place, I also realized about me that was something I did not want to do.
Got it.
And then I joined another team for capital raising, and that was a new position for me as well. That was learning new things, and that was hard. And not that I didn't like it because it was hard, it just, I realized it's not what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
There was no passion there for me. There was no, I guess, just no passion. And I kind of found that more as I was going down real estate, the path, and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, I don't know if this is a passion of mine. Yes, it's great for money and the wealth later on, and that's typically why we get in the industry, right? And then I was just like, you know what? Just and I think I felt like I just kept chasing it because I thought I wanted it and I was been doing it for so long. I was just like, I have to stay with this because then I feel like, well, I'm doing
Like
shiny
a
object.
sunk cost fallacy kind of a thing. I've put so
Yes.
much effort into this, I have to stay with
Yes.
it.
Exactly. And then, going to Salt Lake City and understanding pivot and when and how and learning new things about yourself really came into play and helped me so much with that because I knew I'm like, okay, I'm not pivoting. Well, I am pivoting, but I'm okay with that because I tried this and I realized it's not what I want to do. I didn't like it. So why am I going to stay and make myself miserable?
Yeah.
Why? And why do
Well,
people
we're all,
do that at a W-2? There's so
oh,
many of them.
yeah, yeah, you're right. It's actually what prompted my own uh, exit from one of my jobs was looking around and seeing people stuck in their situation and realizing that if I didn't make a change and make myself valuable to market, I was going to be that person in 50 years.
Exactly.
Um,
100%. Yep. And I feel like there's so many people that make themselves miserable for no reason. I get it. You need a paycheck to pay your bills, but there's so many jobs out there, like you said.
mhm.
I just didn't want to do that, and I needed to get another skill to make myself more valuable to the marketplace. So, what if you could do that? What if you honed in on one skill that you're really good at and brought it to the marketplace?
Well, and the market rewards people that bring value. That's exactly how it works. So
100.
very cool. Have you thought about what the future of the business looks like? What do you guys have planned moving forward?
That's a really good question, and I haven't thought too deep or too much into it. I mean, obviously, I want to grow it into something amazing and very valuable, and I just want to keep adding more value to people and just helping as much as we can wherever we can. We
Hmm.
just like to give back. So,
Yeah, you mentioned that you're hosting a weekly Zoom that you
yes,
help people with things. Is
yes.
that tell me a little bit about that?
So it's going to be a branch off of Stop Losing Leads. We call
Okay.
it Business Lab. And again, it's just like an umbrella under Stop Losing Leads. So every Thursday, we hold a Zoom. It's 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we just come in and we chit chat with businesses, entrepreneurs. We encourage you guys to bring questions, anything you want to ask or learn about AI, possibly even AI. Or, yes, we can introduce you to AIs to make it less scary so you can learn
Hmm.
how to automate things or how you can learn to use it as a business thought partner. And, we also, because we're doing it and we have a Sparky, so we use Sparky. He's our agentic agent. And we,
Okay.
will show
So you
people
have like
as
an
well.
AI agent that does work for you?
Yes, we do. Really cool. We actually, Steve is our amazing builder, and he actually built a couple for us this week. And one of them, Lola, is on our onboarder. So him
Oh,
and
interesting.
Lola just onboarded one of our clients.
Very cool.
Oh my gosh, very neat. So that's just kind of what we do on Thursdays. We show you how to integrate things. or, systems. We're all about systems and just better systems and what you can use to market yourself or how to just get in the game and stay in the game and just help wherever we can. Yesterday, I just did one on Notebook LM for beginners, just kind of did a walkthrough. That was super fun. I love Notebook. So just bringing different tools to the audience and just how we can help wherever we can. So that's what we do on Tuesdays. It's really fun.
You have told me before that mindset is your greatest asset. Have you ever gone through periods in building your business and everything where you've had to wrestle with that? Ooh. And if that's the case, what are your suggestions for people that might be going through something like that they might be able to get through it and keep holding on, keep building their business?
Yeah, that's a really great question because I feel like we all struggle with that, whether you're an entrepreneur or just a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest struggle in life is just mindset and self-talk. Especially for entrepreneurs, it's literally 95% of it is your mindset.
Mm.
And just being able to be okay with things and keep going and just, I guess, having a good perspective of things and how you look at it. If you can look at it, it's not happening to you, but for you. If you can look at it as, yay, I have a problem to solve, so I could be more valuable if I could solve that problem for somebody. And I think having an accountability partner is very important. And definitely community.
Yeah, I think that you're right on with that. I found the hardest times have been when I've been isolated.
Yes, yep. Because you go in there and you start digging around and you start asking yourself and having these self-conversations when really you should be having those conversations with other people or other entrepreneurs or other visionaries that see what you want to do or, just people, like-minded people where you can have that conversation and not feel isolated. And just community in general where people can have your back and have your front.
One of the things that I've noticed about that, having people that are like-minded, is that they go through similar experiences. Yes. It's not just that they have other things to say, it's that they've been in the trenches and they know what you're going through. Right?
Exactly. So now you guys can compare battle buddy notes or war notes, and then you're like, oh my God, that was so hard, but at least I can relate to you, and we can have that conversation because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes, because especially for you, since you're doing both, it can be really hard to talk to a 9-to-5 mindset. So when you try to talk to them as opposed to talking to a like-minded person, those conversations can be very different. And I feel like sometimes when you talk to a 9-to-5 person, they're really stuck in that kind of 9-to-5. They don't have the
context, maybe
context, or they think have that outside of the box thinking like we do because we want different stuff. We don't want to do the 9-to-5. We have bigger conversations or different conversations, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense to me. I don't know. When I went out of my sister's house during Father's Day, we drove up over the mountain to Salt Lake, and I saw all those houses in the Salt Lake Valley. And there was a day where it was just like every single one of those houses represents several $100,000 to a couple $1 million. And all of a sudden, I just saw that there was so much opportunity out there. And trying to explain that moment to somebody who's in their 9-to-5 never seems to land. But entrepreneurs, they're like, oh yeah, I get what you're talking about.
Yes.
And that's just one example. There's all kinds of scenarios like that happen because you start to see things differently when you're working on a problem like this, on how you can make yourself more valuable so that you can obtain resources to be even more valuable and just kind of set up this virtual cycle of compounding effect.
100% agree. Yeah.
You just can't talk to certain people about that because they have no frame of reference.
Right. Exactly. Because they have that 9-to-5 brain. So that's how they think. And there's nothing wrong with that because if we didn't have 9-to-5 people, then who would be doing all these businesses for us? You know what I mean?
Exactly. But, so there's definitely a place for all of the different things. It's just the like-minded person is really the important part for your success. I think they call it the campfire effect. The more you're in the presence of others who are on the same path, the more you get benefit from each other instead of it's not just a take relationship. It's a give and take, right?
100%. Exactly. And it's just a whole different environment and atmosphere in general when you have those different conversations and dialects, and it's crazy. It's just so fascinating how different it is.
Yeah, certainly. I don't know. If I tell you I'm aiming to make $1 million, you're like, yeah, so am I. If I tell somebody in my 9 to 5 that, you're like, sure.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Or even if we said that to each other, it'd be like, okay, now how are we going to do that?
Yeah.
Or what do you want to
So
do?
like, okay, how then?
Yes, exactly. Or even who, not how. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Even who, not how. So a very good point. Yep. So if you had any suggestions for learning resources or where to get started for people who want to become entrepreneurs but just don't know how to go about doing that, what would you tell to that person?
That's a really great question too. Again, I'm just a firm believer of community. So I would say seek out community of what you want to learn or what you're passionate about. Seek out those like-minded people. Find those people that you want to become, or really, I guess, just become, and follow them, learn from them, copy their homework and start doing it, because obviously it's working. So let's not reinvent the wheel. Again, it's just me personally, community, especially the AI network community. I found you and everybody in there. I've met so many great people and I have so many great connections now because of it. And I think for real, community is everything when you get around the right ones and you get around those people that do want the best for you and they push you to be that 8-figure self that you want to be.
I think that's spot on. Thinking about, I think it's Jesse that says you need to find people who don't only have your back, but they have your front. 100%. And what he means by that is that people who actually want to see you grow and succeed in your future, not just...
And we call you out so we can call you up. Because you said you wanted to do this, so I want you to do it because you said you wanted to do it, so I'm going to call you out on it. Why aren't you doing the thing you said you wanted to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's...
And I imagine that people can find some community with you and Marcy and them when you guys are doing your Zoom meetings on Thursdays.
Exactly. 100%. Yep. We're just, we are creating our own, not necessarily our own, but just another place for people to become and have resources. And I guess, just another safe space that Jesse created for us.
Yeah.
We just want to create that for other entrepreneurs and small businesses as well. And, the struggle is real. It's hard. And we just want to make it a little bit easier for somebody. If
I love that.
we could help you in any way, or if we can lighten the load, that's what we want to do. So that's why we build Stop Losing Leads, just to make things streamlined and less painful for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you guys heard it here first about Stop Losing Leads. So when they make it big, you just remember, Pot of Gold podcast is where you learned about it.
And now we're actually looking for 4 beta clients to come in and test. So that would be super awesome. You can find us on our website or Facebook, or reach out to Nathanael. He knows how to get a hold of me. But you can just book an appointment on our website, and then we can go from there and see if we're a good fit, see if it's something that you could use. And then that's how you can get involved with our beta right now.
Very cool. Well, I'll go ahead and put links to both your website and your Facebook page in the YouTube description. So if you'd like to reach out and connect with Jordanna, that's where you'll look first. And then, sure, if you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out on the messaging apps or platforms at any time. I'm happy to answer questions.
And you also be reaching out to Nathanael, because you want to talk about systems? He's got all kinds of systems. And if you don't, I'm pretty sure he can build you one too. So
that's how I run the podcast and everything. So it's all documented and got workflows going.
Yeah. He can help.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience before we end for the...
I think reading is power, and power is knowledge. So never stop learning, never stop growing, never stop growing yourself, for one. And I think read as much books as you can, make notes from them, learn from them, use them as tools, because there's some really good books out there that are, man, I'm just like, wow, how do I get this all into my brain? But hey, you can drop that into AI and make something for you.
Yeah, sometimes it works like that. I think sometimes there's a lot of utility in being able to be exposed to those ideas and having it forcibly change your paradigm,
Exactly.
the way you see the world.
Yes.
And so I've encountered that most often when I've been reading new.
Good. Yeah. Just being open and curious and ask all kinds of questions. And I think communication is key in learning how to ask better questions.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that. Well, it's been a genuine pleasure having a conversation with you about this
Thank
today,
you so much.
Jordanna.
I appreciate you.
And I just like to let everyone know in the audience that I also appreciate you and all of your efforts as you've been supporting us as we build this. If you have any questions for me or a topic you'd like me to address in the show, please let me know, and I'll look for guests that will cover those topics. Other than that, thanks for tuning into the Pot of Gold podcast. And this is Nathanael Opoulos signing out.